Hello, my lovely listeners. Today I want to open this video with a warm thank you to three wonderful women. Rebecca Hall from Madison, Wisconsin, Nicole Adams from Tempe, Arizona, and Diana Brooks from Savannah, Georgia. Your words truly touched my heart. It's incredible to realize how far our stories reach. So tell me, what city are you listening from right now? The Monday morning light filtered through the tall windows of the downtown Denver office tower, casting long shadows across the open-plan floor. Rebecca Harper strode through the space with purpose, her heels clicking sharply against the polished concrete. Every head turned, conversations hushed, but her gaze locked solely on Daniel Thompson at his desk. His heart pounded against his ribs as she approached, the memory of Friday night's chaos still vivid. The streaked mascara, the slurred vulnerability, the way her hand had clutched his in the darkness of her apartment. 3 days earlier, Daniel had been racing the clock to reach his 8-year-old daughter Emma's after-school program. As a single father, the fear of being the last parent never left him. Every extra minute past 6 cost fees his stretched budget could scarcely afford. Rebecca's voice had cut through his hurried packing. "Daniel, your quarterly review is scheduled for tomorrow morning." He checked his watch, 5:40 p.m. "Ms. Harper, I'm sorry, but I need to collect Emma by 6. Her perfectly arched eyebrow lifted, copper hair catching the fluorescent light. "This review decides your bonus, Daniel. Make arrangements." At 35, she had risen to marketing director through relentless drive and unflinching standards, inspiring both fear and reluctant admiration across the team. Daniel called his neighbor Mrs. Garcia, who kindly agreed to pick up Emma. Relief washed over him like cool water, but his stomach knotted as he prepared for the review. The bonus meant winter coats for Emma and perhaps the space camp she dreamed about, nightly. By 8 o'clock, the financial district had quieted, streetlights glowing against the crisp Colorado evening. As he walked toward the parking garage, raised voices echoed from a narrow alley between buildings. "Come on, sweetheart. The night's young." A woman's sharp refusal followed. "No, let go." Daniel recognized the voice instantly, Rebecca. Stepping into the shadowed alley, cold air biting his skin, he saw her pressed against the brick wall, blazer askew, surrounded by 3 men in suits. One gripped her arm with possessive pressure. Another leaned in too close, breath heavy with liquor. The third laughed low and mocking. "Hey," Daniel called, his voice steadier than the fear tightening his chest. "Everything okay?" The men turned, irritation flashing in their eyes. "Mind your business, buddy," growled the one holding her. Daniel noticed Rebecca's unfocused gaze, her unsteady sway, the faint scent of gin and expensive perfume mingling with the alley's damp concrete and stale smoke. "Rebecca, I've been looking for you," he said, stepping forward deliberately. "Our ride's waiting." She squinted, recognition dawning slowly. "Thompson, what are you—" "Taking you home," he replied firmly, positioning himself between her and the group. The tallest man advanced. "She's with us." Daniel pulled out his phone, screen glowing in the dim light. "Security or police? Your choice." They muttered curses, calling her a tease as they retreated. Rebecca slid down the wall, knees buckling. Daniel caught her, her body warm and limp against his, the texture of her silk blouse soft under his hands. "Those jerks," she mumbled, voice thick. "Client dinner, too many martinis." Supporting her weight, her arm draped over his shoulders, they made their way to the street. The night air felt sharper now, carrying the distant hum of traffic and the faint metallic tang of impending mountain rain. Securing a rideshare proved difficult. Rebecca alternated between defiance. "I'm perfectly fine," and raw honesty. "Nobody really respects me." Her words hung heavy, revealing cracks in her armor. At her sleek Lodo apartment building, Daniel fumbled with her keys, the metal cool and unfamiliar. Inside, the space felt sterile. Minimalist furniture, stark, abstract art. No personal photos or warmth, like a showroom rather than a home. The air smelled faintly of lemon cleaner and isolation. She groaned for the bathroom. He guided her there, holding her hair back as nausea overtook her, the sound raw and vulnerable. Afterward, he found a soft t-shirt and shorts in her drawer, leaving them with water and aspirin. "Change and drink this," he said through the door. "I'll wait until you're settled." 20 minutes later, her footsteps tentative, he helped her into the king bed, pulling the crisp sheets over her like he did for Emma after nightmares. As he turned to leave, her hand caught his, fingers trembling with cool fragility. "Why are you being kind to me?" she whispered, eyes glassy. "I'm horrible to you." Her voice broke, the silence afterward deafening. "You're demanding," he said softly. "Not horrible." "Same thing." Her eyes fluttered shut. "Everyone leaves eventually." The words landed like ice in his chest, echoing his own losses. He plugged in her phone, left fresh water, and locked the door behind him at 10:30 p.m. Mrs. Garcia had been patient, but guilt lingered as he drove home through quiet Denver streets. The next morning, Rebecca sat immaculate in her office. Crisp white blouse, charcoal suit, hair in a severe bun. "Close the door, Daniel." His pulse raced. "Here it comes." "About Friday night," she began, voice steady yet eyes searching his. "We don't have to—" "Yes, we do." She met his gaze directly. "Thank you." Those men wouldn't let go. "I don't know what might have happened." He shifted. "Anyone would have—" "No, they wouldn't." Her pen tapped rhythmically against the desk, a small tell of lingering unease. "Most here would have savored seeing me vulnerable." Silence stretched, heavy with unspoken truths. "Why help me? I've given you no reason to care." Daniel thought of Emma learning about integrity at school. "I tell my daughter doing the right thing matters even when inconvenient." I couldn't walk away. Something in her expression softened, jaw relaxing, eyes warming like sunlight on frost. "Your daughter is Emma, right? 8 years old." Surprise flickered through him. She remembered the name. "Yes. Raising her alone since her mother left when she was 2. Quiet fell again, the office clock ticking softly. "My father raised me alone after my mother died when I was 10, she confessed, voice lower. "He worked 2 jobs. I barely saw him." The revelation stunned Daniel. In 3 years, she'd never spoken of family. That must have been hard. It was. She straightened papers, fingers precise yet betraying subtle tension. "I learned nothing comes without sacrifice." Her eyes met his. "Your performance has been exceptional, creative, reliable. I'm recommending 15% bonus instead of 10. His breath caught. "Thank you. That's generous." "Deserved." She closed the file. "Also, no mandatory meetings after 5. Families shouldn't choose between work and children." Wonder filled him. "One more thing. The company has tickets to the space exploration exhibit at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science this weekend. Emma dreams of being an astronaut?" "She'd love it." "Good. You'll both join me." "My goddaughter Olivia is visiting. She's 9 and space-obsessed. Saturday at 10. It wasn't a question, but her smile hinted at hope. The museum day transformed the air between them. Rebecca arrived in jeans and a soft sweater, hair loose around her shoulders, copper strands catching sunlight. Emma and Olivia bonded instantly, racing between exhibits, their laughter bright against the museum's hushed echoes. Daniel watched Rebecca explain a Mars rover model, her hands gesturing with uncharacteristic animation, posture relaxed, eyes sparkling. "She looks like you," Rebecca noted, as Emma demonstrated to Olivia. "Acts like her mother, though. Stubborn." "Not always bad," Rebecca replied, voice warm. "Sometimes it's determination in disguise." Over cafe lunch, she listened intently to Emma's science project details, nodding with genuine interest. When Emma mentioned space camp, Rebecca's eyes met Daniel's. The company offers educational scholarships for employees' children. I'll send the application. Later, as the girls explored the gift shop, Rebecca turned to him, the scent of her light perfume mixing with coffee aromas. Thank you for today. Olivia's parents travel constantly. I try to give her normal moments. You're good with her. Children are honest about what they need, she said, unlike bosses who pretend nothing happened after being seen at their worst. She laughed then, a real transforming sound that softened her features like melting ice. Over months, Rebecca evolved, still demanding excellence, but with new warmth. Family policies took root. She remembered children's names, joined occasional after-work gatherings. Museum visits became movie nights, then Sunday brunches in Denver parks, where autumn leaves crunched underfoot and Emma's giggles filled the air. Olivia visited more, staying with Rebecca instead of empty hotels, the apartment gradually warming with photos and drawings. 6 months after the alley, they sat on Daniel's small balcony under Denver's starry sky, girls asleep inside after a sleepover. Wine glasses caught moonlight. I never thanked you properly, Rebecca said, swirling the ruby liquid, its aroma rich and grounding. For seeing me, not just that night, but every day since, not letting me hide behind the title. You've thanked me enough. The bonus, scholarship, promotion. Those were earned. She interrupted softly, voice breaking slightly. This is different. She set down her glass, leaning closer. The night air cooled their skin, but warmth radiated between them. I was becoming someone I hated, alone, bitter, defined only by work. You showed another way. You helped without expecting return. Saw me at my worst, yet treated me with dignity. Moonlight silvered her hair as she continued. Some save others from fires. You saved me from myself. When she kissed him, lips soft and tentative at first, then deepening, it felt inevitable, like sunlight after long winter. Vulnerability bloomed into strength, their hands intertwining with quiet promise. 1 year later, Daniel and Rebecca stood together at Emma's space camp graduation ceremony in the Colorado foothills, sunlight warming their shoulders. Olivia, now officially Rebecca's foster daughter, after her parents chose stability for her, cheered beside them, certificates clutched proudly. The girls ran toward them, faces glowing with accomplishment and sticky from celebratory ice cream. Do you ever wonder how differently things might have unfolded? Rebecca whispered, squeezing his hand, her touch now familiar and grounding. If you hadn't walked into that alley? He smiled, pulling her closer. Every day. You were lost then, pushing away, working endlessly. Now, her genuine smile, radiant and free, lit her eyes. Now I have everything I never knew I wanted. A family built from courage and second chances. As laughter echoed around them, the mountain breeze carrying scents of pine and fresh beginnings, Daniel realized the deepest truth. Sometimes rescuing another reveals your own path to healing. The strongest souls often wait quietly behind walls, yearning for someone brave enough to see the heart beneath the armor. In sharing vulnerability, they had forged partnership, love tempered by compassion, proving it is never too late to open one's arms to the life waiting just beyond the storm.